He's the ghost that haunts Southtown. And in 2026, the nightmare has become a complete reality, you guys. Geese Howard, my man, my favorite villain of all time, is finally joining the roster for Fatal Fury City of the Wolves Season 2. We've seen him as a boss in the episodes of Southtown, but now he's stepping into the competitive arena. Now he's playable. And today, I'm going to be breaking down his kit, a little bit of his legacy so you can kind of know who he is, and just, get to know a little bit more of the original king of Southtown and how he's about to shake up the meta, in my honest opinion, in City of the Wolves Season 2. So without further ado, let's get right to it and talk about some Geese Howard. Alright, so for those of you that are not familiar with Geese, allow me to catch up to speed real quick. So Geese is known to be dead in the lore, but let's be real. This man has not actually been dead. He's actually been terrorizing every other fighting game known to man. Geese is like the ultimate guest character that's mostly seen as a menace. He's the guy that shows up, breaks your game's rules, and leaves everyone in tears. I mean, take a look at Tekken 7, right? He didn't just join the roster. He staged a damn hostile takeover against those damn Mishimas, man. He brought max mode from King of Fighters, air fireballs, jumping, and the crazy deadly rave combos that also go into the Rashomon. No one liked his combos, man, but I did. They look really cool. Now, seeing a 3D fighter such as Tekken get dismantled by Geese chucking Repukins is like a core memory for me, watching the entire generation of Tekken 7 just struggle against this guy. He literally forced Tekken players to play Fatal Fury, right? And it's not just Tekken, right? He was also a ridiculously hard boss to beat in Art of Fighting 2. And then fast forward, he's also in Capcom vs SNK 1 and 2. And he's just a monster in that game too. You know what I mean? He's top tier for crying out loud in CVS 2. So, Geese has spent a long time, well over 30 years, proving he doesn't need to be in his own game to be a complete monster. He's the definition of like a boss just as a complete menace, such an insane character. And now he's bringing that menacing feeling, that nightmare, if you will. He's bringing that energy back into City of the Wolves for Season 2. And if history has taught us anything about Geese, it's that the City of the Wolves meta is about to get a lot more. Alright, look, I had to do the meme for the video, okay? Don't roast me too hard in the comments. Now that we've gotten all this out the way, let's get back on track. Let's talk more about Geese. Alright, so bringing Geese back as Nightmare Geese, in my honest opinion, is the perfect move for this game. Since City of the Wolves is the successor to Garou Mark of the Wolves, Geese is, technically speaking, dead. He doesn't really exist. But his influence has never left Southtown. It's never left anyone. He's like that ghost that's always looming around, in the Fatal Fury series. And it's really neat to see him come back. This version, in my honest opinion, feels like a real tribute to kind of how Geese was in Real Bout, and it's just a really big culmination of different versions of Geese, in my honest opinion. I'd say, honestly, this version feels more akin to that of what he is in KOF 14 and 15, and obviously in Tekken as well, because that is kind of where they pulled his kit from in that game. So if you're used to Geese in those games, you're going to feel right at home with him here, on top of him having some unique things to his kit, which I'll get into a little bit later. Geese, in my honest opinion, he looks very, looks very intimidating this time. He does have the extra echo around his voice, so he sounds like a hologram or something like that. So I think that part's really cool. I really like the way that he looks in this game. It is Geese, man. It is the goose. The goose is loose, you guys. And you can tell I'm really excited talking about Geese. So I really love the way he looks in this game. The signature things that they did for him, they kept him with his rollie on. Got a nice little watch. He looks like he's straight out of Fatal Fury 1. So I like what they've done with him here, so hats off to SNK. I really love his animations. I love the way he looks. I love the way he animates this. I got it. Just big dubs all around. Big W. WSNK. Really, really good stuff here for Geese. Now, as I said, if you play Geese in KOF 15 or even Tekken 7, you know the drill, right? He's got projectiles with his Reppuken, and he's got his counters. You know, he's got a lot going for him here in this game. But in City of the Wolves, since it adds the rev system, that kind of changes how you kind of go about things. And essentially, it really opens up another dimension to how you can play Geese with the rev system, and I think that's the unique part about him. He really has a lot in regards to his combos, in regards to his pressure game with the rev system and his cancels. So you can really like layer on pressure with him that's very unique to him. And man, he packs a punch. So in addition to that, I do want to talk about some quick stats about him. He is another dash character, and his dash is pretty quick. I'm not gonna lie, you guys, his dash, he is schmoovin' out here. So Geese, in my honest opinion, he feels pretty fast. He feels almost like a speedster. His front dash goes pretty far. His back dash is kind of what you'd expect. Not too long, not too short of a back dash. His walk speed's pretty solid too, so like, he's looking real good. His small jump is really strong with his buttons and how they operate. He is doing just fine. It's a very common trend I'm seeing here now with the latest DLC characters so far, even in Season 1. A lot of them were actually dash characters. There haven't really been any real run characters in recent times. But hey, you know, I'm kinda glad Geese has a dash. I think it makes him pretty scary in comparison to having a run. And that's just my personal opinion. So I think from a strategy standpoint, from what I can tell about Geese, I feel like maybe his SPG placement seems pretty unique. It's pretty hard to say actually where to put it. Normally you'd hear in my videos, I'd say a lot of newer characters that are like middle SPG characters to maybe end SPG, but I feel like Geese can put it anywhere. And I think that's actually really unique to him, because much like what SPG is supposed to do, it's supposed to allow you to kind of think about where you want to put it per matchup. And I think he seems almost like on a per matchup basis, as far as I can tell, with where you put your SPG. So I think that's kind of a good thing that makes Geese a lot more flexible of a character in City of the Wolves. So I'm definitely okay with this here. Alright, so next up I have some combos here just to kind of give you guys an idea of his combo potential, kind of what you'll be expecting to see while playing as Geese. These are by no means the best combos, but just an idea to get you guys, you know, get your gears going for when he does come out for you guys, right? Alright, final conclusion about Geese. My end game thoughts about Geese. I think Geese is shaping up to be a very, very, very strong character for City of the Wolves. I kind of sort of can't wait to see what players actually do with him based on his kit. He does have a lot of tricky options and some really solid damage output on his side to really kind of set him above a lot of the other cast members. I don't know, you guys. I can't help but feel he's gonna shape up to be somewhere in the top. I know it's his early prediction, and trust me, you guys can come back to this video and say, hey man, you said this, but it's actually that. I will totally hold that, you guys, but I think as people kind of learn more about Geese, I cannot help but feel he's gonna be a menace. Because to be quite frank with you guys, Geese is a menace in like every game that he's in, including Tekken. So in City of the Wolves, I kind of expect nothing less from him in this game. But only time will tell, but I have a sneaking suspicion he's going to be up there in the upper echelon of characters as time goes by. All in all, If you're a big fan of Geese just like I am, you're gonna feel right at home with this guy. Trust me, he is all that in a bag of chips. I cannot stress that any further. I love me some Geese Howard. So glad to see him here in City of the Wolves. And as per usual, I gotta give a big fat thank you to SNK for allowing me early access to try out Geese and make this video for you guys. With that being said, thank you guys for watching, and I will catch you guys in the next one. Take care. Peace.